What wanted you to make this film?
Well, Russell wanted me to, and so I said yes before probably reading the script, and then read it, and I was, excited to do a film that was sort of an opportunity for me to kind of do this great character and do it with Russell, and also, the subject matter I found really interesting. Film about a guy sort of unraveling during the course of making a film, which is kind of a subject which has interested me for years. I made a film called I Love Your Work, which, while not about, an exorcism per se, was definitely about a guy unraveling making a movie. So,
Peter is, in my sense, pure evil in
yeah,
this film.
yeah, I think he's the devil, but
Yeah. Well, it's interesting because that kind of brings me into my question of I feel like every character almost has another role to play in this film other than who they are in the movie. So the fact that you say that he is the devil
yeah.
is really interesting. I think it's a really great concept. Did you catch that right from the beginning? Was that something that Josh talked to you about? Was that something you kind of came up with on your own?
When I read it seemed almost archetypically like he was the bad guy, and
Mhm.
that he was the sort of catalyst for the unraveling. I mean, he was digging all this stuff up. I mean, the devil is his, the devil are his inner demons, right? But I mean,
Right.
but certainly the vehicle is the film, and I guess, that he's making, and the driver of that vehicle, is Peter. So, there's a lot of metaphors in there, but I, I think
I
you get it.
guess you could say that Peter's almost like the devil's minion in a
Yeah, right.
sense.
Yeah, there you go. Sure. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good way of putting it.
Yeah.
Uh, did you go in with such harsh thoughts and from the very beginning, or was there, was Josh saying to you, no, make him worse, make him really evil? I mean, the things he
No,
whispers.
I don't think so. I mean, I think it was just there. I mean, it was really there on the page, and certainly there's probably some things in there that are, that I contributed, but I feel like I don't know, it seemed pretty clear to me that that's just where that guy needed to go. And, he didn't seem like a wholly unfamiliar character to me either. So it wasn't like, you know, it wasn't sort of like hyperbole. And also, you kind of know that the film is going to do a certain, is going to do its job, kind of framing it in a way where, you have a sense of how far to go, and, that kind of thing.
Do you like playing evil?
Um, yeah, I mean, I think that what's sort of fun about this guy is that, you're sort of get to tap into this part of you that, your own, sort of almost antisocial, sort of megalomania that I think that a lot of artists possess. I think there are degrees to which we express that, and degrees to which we, sort of compartmentalize those things. But I mean, I think those things are all there.
Mm.
We all want, and directors in particular, they have different way. I mean, not even directors. I mean, assistant coach a little league team, and you see that coaches, like, have different ways of getting things out of their kids, but it always seems
Hmm.
to me that they're trying to get something out of their kids or their team or their actors or their DP or whoever.
Right.
They're doing it for themselves, whether or not it's carrots and sticks, or it's just sticks, I think it just
Yeah.
depends on that person. So, yeah, this guy just
Well,
this guy uses daggers, right? So that's
yes, he does. Well, I loved the character. I really enjoyed the film. Thank you so much for
cool.
your time. I can't wait for
All right.
people to see it.
Oh, awesome.
Thanks.
Thanks. Cool. Thanks.